Aura, a little bit of the Cult to get people going this morning. That is off their Sonic Temple album. Saw them live with Metallica, 1989. Back when most of you guys were in diapers. Europe, Bookshelf, Trogue, Hennick, Radical Rafter, Mayor of Bodybuilding, X-Mass Pro, and all the other eyeballs watching today. It's 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Today's topic of discussion, the Duluth model. Why every man must understand this model. So, I don't know what you know about it. We're not going to get in massive nitty-gritty of it. We'll definitely work with it. I'm trying to figure out this screen sharing crap, but I'll just probably read it. The reality is this. The Duluth model was started in 1981 in Duluth, Minnesota, by a group of women feminists who wanted to hold the perpetrator of domestic, issues accountable. Well, what came out of that was that men were the perpetrators of this. So whenever there was a phone call on a 3-digit calling number, 9 with a 1 and a 1, the popo would show up, and part of the Duluth model was them had to remove the perpetrator, which is typically always the man. The Duluth model is very important because it goes over several different points of domestic issues. We'll get into that. Trogue says primary aggressor by default, 100%. So guys, it doesn't matter if you're with a girl, live with a girl, married a girl, if there is an instance that she gets upset and dials a 3-digit number, you will be taken away. Rich, good to see you. Christian Henney, good to see you. BJ Fornash, good to see you. SCE back in the house. My master wrench. Even the author herself admitted that it was very biased based upon pure conjecture. Absolutely. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor. My brother had the popo show up multiple times. She tried every trick in the book. Now, there's a lot of criticism to it. So we'll go through it. There's a wheel, and I want you guys, if you ever get the inclination, go and just type in Duluth model. And you'll come up with what they call the power and control wheel. Basically, it's at the end of the day, let me read something to you. It basically says, the biggest issue is with how the model assumes that in all cases of domestic issues, involving a man and a woman, the man is always emphasized, bolded, always the offender, while the woman is always the victim. Good to see Rev in the house. Appreciate you being here, brother. As a result, men cannot be victims of domestic issues according to this model. Not only that, but if you follow this along, you will see the statistics show that domestic issue seems to be an issue which predominantly affects ladies. But that's obvious when the only statistics are recordings we are recording are the ones which agree with the assumed conclusion and bias. There are women, absolutely. We're not saying that women are not battered. There are lots of, I would say, yeah, the majority of the domestic issues involve a man laying it down to Chinatown in a bad way with a lady. But there are instances where women are extremely aggressive with the man. However, in this model, it always assumes that the man is the aggressor while the woman plays the V card. MGTOW Phoenix, good to see you, brother. The Duluth model is one of the worst and most destructive policies ever written to destroy men. The man's story is never taken at all. Straight in cuffs, straight to jail, 100%. That's why there's no battered shelters for men. I think there's one, like 2 in the nation or something like that. Because it's automatically assumed that the man is in charge of everything when it comes to the violation. He is the one, he is the perpetrator, and so forth. Only men can be abusers, right? It also says that the only time a woman will use some muscle back is when she is in self-defense. However, there are multiple stories of women that literally are extremely aggressive towards their men and use objects, use hands, use scratching to really upset the man. The man can't do anything because he knows if he does anything, he will be hauled away. Actually, he will be hauled away regardless. I had a friend, don't get married. I had a friend who she made it all up. He went to the popo came. He was taken away, and he couldn't go back for a week. She completely lied, made it up. In fact, admitted to the popo when they showed up that he didn't do anything. They still took him away because the motto basically says the perpetrator must go away, and the perpetrator would be the man, right? Aviator in the house. Good to see you. The most important point here is that men need to be aware of this issue. So when people say, I am not going to be around any lady, you are not mistaken. I mean, again, risk and reward, right? Many of the things they list can equally apply to women, yet the focus is on how apparently only men use these things to control women. Apparently, we use our muscles to control ladies. In short, you can't fix what is already fundamentally broken, and frankly, I would be further insulted if people tried to make this disgusting model and make it more gender neutral. Now, how does the Duluth model work with lesbian marriages or gay marriages in that regards? What happens when the woman and woman marriage, the woman is the perpetrator and the woman is a victim? How does that work? Man, we just need to be aware of our surroundings and our conduct. Please stay safe. Thanks for the stream. Good to have you. Timmy says, golfing at noon. Peace, quiet, and freedom for 300 Trebek. The religious church of today are trying to push off marriage. They know that they have lost. Marriage is not the same as it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So that's a little bit about the Duluth model. Created in 1981 in Duluth, Minnesota, a total libtard state. And I'm sure there's some very good, solid people in Minnesota. It's very cold. I've been there multiple times. At least Prince is from there. But 1981, to hold the perpetrators accountable, apparently back maybe in the late 70s and early 80s, the popo, if they showed up, it's like they probably said that the man was in its right, element to discipline his wife. Remember, 80 years ago, 90, 100 years ago, men were able to spank their wives. So there was a form of touching in an aggressive way. MGTOW Phoenix, I got drunk with an ex when we were together, woke up the next morning to her punting me as hard as she could in the stomach because I didn't wake up early enough. And yeah, I mean, look, women can scratch their way and make people hurt. They can hit you over the head with something, The illusion of 300 Tribeca of lesbian. There you go. Jason Reed from Colorado. Even in the exit in divorce, no matter how bad the behavior of the wife, the man is always made out to be the villain. She is always the victim. Isn't that the truth? Good to have you, brother. Men are always responsible for what they allow. Toxic women make up 95% of the population. Well, and another thing, women understand this. They understand where men fit in the picture and where women fit in the picture. Women being more of the V card and men being more of the perpetrator. That is just how our life has gone. Why do you think men are leery of things? It didn't matter. The police weren't involved, but I was demonized by 90% of the people that knew about the incident. Yeah. Well, the popo showed up, as you all know, in 2016 at my house at midnight, and I wasn't taken away. They deemed it a family quarrel. Probably the only county in Utah that they analyzed the situation. But if I was in Oregon, California, I would have been in the back of a cruiser. And he's been traveling all over. Good for you, brother. In your BMW. I will retire as a millionaire in my 30s, says Patriots One. There you go, brother. Good for you. You can retire. And we'll have to do a discussion on ways to help your money work with you. Hopefully money's still around by November 7th. Now let's go through a little bit of the wheel. I don't know if I can share this. I'm going to try and share this, but I'm having a lot of maybe it's my Mozilla Firefox browser. But let's go through the power and control will. At the top, you have physical violators and sexual. Here are the eight parts of the wheel. Using coercion and threats. I'm reading this from the Duluth model. Making and or carrying out threats to do something to hurt her. Threatening to leave her. Threatening to self-delete, to report her to welfare. Making her drop charges. Making her do illegal things. Number 2, using intimidation. Making her afraid by using locks, actions, gestures, smashing things, destroying her property, abusing pets, displaying weapons. Well, we do not condone that. Using economic abuse, preventing her from getting or keeping a job, making her ask for money, giving her an allowance, taking her money, not letting her know about or have access to family income. So basically, if you have a wife that spends all of your money and you cut her off, you are violating the Duluth model. If she overspent and ran your credit card through the roof and is now in delinquency and you cut her off the credit card, you are now part of the Duluth model. The popo can show up and take you away. Traveling is nice, but you should work your inner place and not be dependent on airports. Yeah, there's a lot of things around people's places that are wonderful. I find all the time, 5-10 miles away from here. Okay, but what drove that man to utter those words of malice? There you go. See, that's the issue. It's always the man that is the perpetrator. Airport is terrible for minimalists. I agree. Dan Patrick, good to see you, brother. Good to have you in the chat. Okay, so we talked about that. Cutting her off, if she's wasting money, if she's wasting the family income, will get you the Duluth model at your house. Using emotional abuse, putting her down, making her feel bad about herself, calling her names, making her think she's crazy, playing mind games, humiliating her, or making her feel guilty. Has anybody been part of that? We all have, especially if you've been married or had a girlfriend. What about her calling you an a-hole? Or you're a jerk? Or you're a prick? Or you have a little wiener? Do any of that fit into the Duluth model? Now, again, we're not here to bash. We're here to understand what it is and to make a life that doesn't involve this challenge. Good for you for having that cash. Living minimalistically. Okay, power and control skill. Now we're using the bottom half. Using male privilege, treating her like a servant, making all the big decisions, acting like the master of the castle, being the one to define men and women's roles. Hold on. Making all the big decisions. I made all the big decisions. Well, she was part of it, but at the end, I was the pilot in my relationship. When it came down to, are we going to buy the house or not? She wanted to, and she says, well, I'll do whatever you think. So the big decisions can get you busted. X-Mask Pro relationship are supposed to be boring. A wife or girlfriend is like a job. Hire too slow, fire fast. There you go. SC Rad, I don't know if I can share that PDF that I sent about the wheel. Yeah, I'm going to put the link down in the deal. But I having an issue. I'm down here. I try to watch a couple videos on how to put it in. I'm even in the part, and apparently I just don't understand why it's picture in picture. Press Shift 7. Maybe Shift 7 will work. Shift 7. Nope. I'm going to have to get a tutorial on how to do this. Using children. Making her feel guilty about the children, using the children to relay messages, using visitation to harass her, threatening to take the children away. Okay, I can see that. That makes sense. As Dr. Evil said, pretty standard, really. There you go. Pretty standard, really. Yeah, always having a nice, reliable car is key, brother. Patriots, 1, don't make your happiness dependent on women. Just leave when you see mood swing, pump and dump if you need. There you go. What are you supposed to do if she constantly deals with choice paralysis? The worst possible choice is to stay stationary. Exactly. So we're seeing a lot of these challenges. Base Pluto. Yeah, I remember that as well, brother. Their term wife material is like 1983. That ship has sailed. Exactly. So maybe in 1981, women were so docile and innocent that these applied, but who knows? But today is a different story. If she isn't cooperating or listening, you have to start taking her resources away. Women are just grown children, after all. As we like to say, the majority 5-year-olds with breasts. Marriage is a harder scam than a used Honda Civic, says Europe. Two more left. Minimizing, denying, and blaming. Making light of the abuse and not taking her concerns about it seriously. Saying the abuse didn't happen. Shifting responsibility for abusive behavior, saying she caused it. So let's see. The man is 100% guilty in all situations. With me, that was a very different story. She loved to taunt and push buttons, but yet she's 100% the V card. Marriage is for men. Love, marriage is, and women and business, women is all in it for business. Well said. Spending time on maintenance and changing oil. You must be using the man parts, MANN. That's what I use, my filters, when I had BMWs. And finally, using isolation, controlling what she does, who she sees and talks to, what she reads, where she goes, limits her outside involvement, using jealousy to justify action. Okay, that would be a beta male in that situation. A guy that can't control his lady. Yeah, you mentioned that. You were in a video with Singletown Bachelor. I remember that. Glad you guys could hook up. All right, there have always been bad women. Look at the Netflix movie 1908, where the housewife acted like a biatch and made his life. Sure. What about Gone Girl? Acrimony. Where did all the good men go? Please marry me. Wolf King, good to see you, brother. Happy Saturday to you. Marriage is like a pharmaceutical company. Everybody wants to get the act of the medicine, but sometimes natural healing is the best. Well said. Jason Reed, men love peace, women love chaos and drama. Staying single seems like a no-brainer, but the programming is strong. Ain't that the truth? Saying the abuse didn't happen, this is literally for her to cover herself in lying. Not only is the original lie believed to be abuse on your end, your pushback against the lie is also abusive. So guys, go check out the Duluth model. It's called the Duluth wheel. And now there's never a hem in it. So again, a very antiquated world view from 1981, built by feminists who had no psychological training. And yet the courts, even law schools, are now studying the impacts of the Duluth model and what it encompasses and so forth. So every family court, every divorced family lawyer understands what the Duluth model is. I think women probably don't know the exact term and name for it, but they know exactly how this sort of scenario works. Get the man in a corner, because they will believe you and they will not believe him. Once they don't believe him, he gets hauled away. You get a little notch on your belt in front of the court. But a lot of women, mine tried to use that. My court commissioner said, we're not using that here. So she got slated for trying to use when the popo showed up. She said, Mrs. So-and-so, I know we know exactly what you're trying to do here. It's not going to work in my courtroom. So that very few are waking up, more and more, hopefully, are seeing this playbook, this page in the playbook. This is off topic, but what if prostitution becomes legal in most states? That would be a very interesting thing, Dan Patrick. I'm sure a lot of men would take advantage. Too many guys think women were perfect angles in the 50s. It's false. Yeah. Some guys like biatches. My girlfriend's brother did, now going through the evil bitch divorce. I never liked mean biatches, but I get the fantasy. Sure. Duluth model is a community-based protocol for IPV, which aims to bring law enforcement, family law, and social together. That's it. That's it, Rev. Good to see Rev again. I've known a lot of women that hurt and bruise themselves. They run to the authorities. A lot of mental illness going on. Sammy, good morning, Rad. I might take my buddy to Richardson Farm. There you go. Enjoy your day. Good to have you, brother. I'd rather eat a grass-fed Slim Jim and pick my nose and deal with a dumb IQ. Well, Another man's trash is another man's treasure. They love single moms. Simp mentality for 300. Trebek. Sigma in the house. Good to see you. More part of the Duluth model says Rev, enforcement, family law, and social work, they work together to reduce violence against ladies and rehabilitate perpetrators of domestic issues. Truth. Look, we do not advocate hurting anybody, hurting kids, stay out of all potential aggressive situations, road rage, all that stuff. Stay away from as much conflict as you can. Your life will be better for it. Remember, death by simp is very normal. When guys try to protect women from men, they typically get deleted or hurt extremely bad. Or she acts fine during a few years, but turns fit and horrible after, or turns fat and horrible. Yeah. Especially in the African American community, apparently a lot of the African American women are very aggressive towards their men. That men won't speak up. If you speak up and say, my wife or my girlfriend has been hurting, has been inflicting rough touches on me, number one, you're not going to talk about it because it's embarrassing. What man wants to be told that he's been being battered by his lady? And number two, they're probably not going to believe you. I'd rather have a case of blue balls than to deal with a heartless female. Often false DV alligators are presented in order to gather more resources from divorce court. Well said. Again, everything is used against men. Well said, SCE. It's just ways to get even more points in the system, so they believe that you will get more money or more visitation or more custody, what have you. It's just very unfortunate that we are here today. Now, what are we going to see? I didn't wake up at 3 a.m. this morning, but 5 a.m. and I just laid there for an hour or two. Europe, she is never single. Her dating apps and Instagram is popping notification. It's indirect cheating. Absolutely. You have a master's degree. Mine tried to really enforce some touches, and I held her up, and so she would just kick the air. I had to get away. You have to get away. You have to get away. And luckily, in today's world, we have phones. We have recording devices. So if you're ever in a hostile or very hot, fire situation, put that phone on. That will definitely help in multiple ways. I think prosty is allowed worldwide. They will, if they allow OnlyFans. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. She's never single. There are many reasons why the divorce court is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Well said. It fuels everything. Fuels prisons. Fuels law enforcement. Family courts. Puts money in the coffer. Learn to de-escalate, schmooze. Yeah. Take a chill pill. A lot of people say start singing like a Bible song. Hallelujah or something to get them off the thinking. I'd rather build a complicated Japanese vagina model than deal with a Duluth tooth model. There you go, Wolf. She is never satisfied. Hypergamy never ends. Well said. Big World's back. How do you stay sane? Move in energy, brother. Move in your energy. Big World, I think, is in Da Nang, right? Dutch treat or separate checks dating. Never take her to your place. Parking lot sex is recommended. He's not wrong there, guys. He's not wrong. Go Dutch. The system encourages aggressive behavior from women by never holding them accountable. Yeah, I mean, the accountability is through the roof now. Wolf King, stay sane by not being of the world. Absolutely. Remove the rights of the inmates to vote over false alligators. There you go. Gone with John's in the house. Good to see you, brother. He's out doing something today. I bet he's pressure washing or making some delicious breakfast somewhere. Her beta male provider is plan B, but if her alpha is getting rich, she will dump him immediately. 100%. This is off topic, but what are your thoughts on Android sex dolls in the future? They're getting more realistic, that's for sure. A curiosity, but we'll see. Singing don't work. You can never beat Kurt Cobain or Chris Cornell. You can. Now, how about this? Do you think it's going to get worse or improve? I believe that the situation of mental illness will continue to get worse due to all the head meds, the alcohol, the drug addictions, the Xanax, the SSRIs, the mental illness that comes from social media addiction and so forth. So men, the fuse will snap. The fuse will light quicker now than it ever has in the future and will continue that way. That's why men are walking away. It's not worth it. Women know they will never be held accountable and they get bailed out of every situation. Women are a completely different category. Well, their brains are different. 98% are not recommended. I like that shirt idea. Unfortunately, most simps do not understand the situation until great harm has been done. Ain't that the truth, Rev? Or they'll turn a blind eye. Well, she didn't really mean to call the Pope on me. I probably was being a jerk and I should go. But we're going to get back together and go through counseling. Dave Grohl apparently has a love child, big world. I'm a Chad and I stay single. Don't want to become broke or homeless because she doesn't like me anymore. If her emotions change, you are effed. They change a lot. They change a lot. John's being busy and he's with his little culebras, his snakes. Dan says it's going to get worse until society collapses. Well said. Amazing Grace. That's what, people do that. They'll start singing if there's an issue. Now, it'll probably piss her off even more, but, it's something to get out of that situation. Ghost Pirate, the Duluth and the feminist Zog West. Man, the man is bad. Okay, now pay up. It's all usury. Yeah. You are not mistaken, brother. Good to have you. Debauchery is celebrated. It only goes down the drain from there. Phil. She will liberate men from dead bedrooms. There you go. Good to see, Phil. Most people are unhappy because they're unhealthy diets and lack of exercise. Most people eat like shit and sit on their ass. Yeah, diet's a huge issue. Act like Liam Gallagher for a night out. Fuck off, you fucking cunt. Liam Gallagher tells everyone to fuck off, you cunts. If she doesn't feel it anymore, she will replace you and you get homeless. The house she bought, she did nothing. She spread her legs and that's it. Men are waking up. They're waking up to the risks. Very little rewards. The ROI is not there. Don't try to red pill your beta male friends. They don't get it. Trust me. The only way a man finds a red pill is on his own. We cannot recruit for this, X-Matt. It won't work. Ghost Pirate. Good morning, Rad. Good to see you. Good Dave Grohl is beautiful. I was never a fan of the Foo Fighters. I think I like one song. That's it. I saw Nirvana in 1987 before Grohl. He's all right. I'm surprised that Foo Fighters is that big. I'm not a big fan of his voice. I like his drumming. That's about it. And you're right. They all want resources. That is way of women get into business when they get married. Mysterio from Winnipeg, out of the hospital. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are doing well. The Duluth model is an interesting conversation. If men understand this, they will be very hesitant to even engage in conversation, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's a passerby. Men will start to really understand the situation. Mike Pence followed that rule. I read that, Wolf. Don't want the overlords to flag it. Deep down, it's sad the females will dump you because she becomes very bored of you. What's the point? Boredom sets in very quickly, guys, especially when the money wears out. Where are all your resource providers hiding? A lot of them are right here listening to this. Communism, debauchery, destruction of family, dependence on state, no freedom. It's all planned, isn't it, Trogue? I never wanted to get married deep down, no kids, just an aspiring fine artist. Well, continue what brings you peace, quiet, and freedom, Wolf. The beta male would say, not all women are like that. He pays, she stays, and he doesn't understand if his money is not there anymore. She will leave him. And he'll blame himself. I should have done better. I should have bought her that red dress. I should have bought her that car she wanted. Maybe she'd stay with me. Mr. Sammy, he's hanging out in Chicago. Revelation 2, 9 and 3, 9. Revelation has some good wisdom. When we're talking about women, we are talking about the age range of 20 to 60. 60 plus women can't cause. Yeah, I would agree with that statement. You have to be very diligent and understand that anything you do, if you cut your woman off because she overmaxed your credit card or withdrew a significant amount of cash to go buy herself a Louis Vuitton purse, and you cut her off your account, you are now in violation of the Duluth model, and she has the ability to call the authorities so that you will be rehabilitated. Is that what the model talks about? Remove the perpetrator and rehabilitate him. Not only do betas not get the red pill, they will set you up for exposing their queens, while white knight simps are more treacherous than their beginner masters. 100% ghost. Women, nice guy beta males are the most dangerous men out there. Ugly Jewish women. I've seen some pretty attractive Jewish women. What are your thoughts on Judge Greg Mathis' situation? Isn't he going through a divorce and trying to get her back? He's beta male, right? Don't date, don't say hi, don't provide, don't answer the phone, don't answer the door. See ya. A lot of guys live that monk life, and they're happy for it. They're peaceful. They have peace and quiet. Married twice, got a daughter 8 years old. My ex used parental alienation against me. Didn't see my daughter 7 years, and I lost about 95 grand. You're not alone, Europe. You are not alone. Unfortunately, many men will not listen to the warnings about the Duluth model. They must learn the hard way, Jason Reed. You're 100% right. They'll actually get back in a relationship thinking it'll be different. Most of all, this spiritual decor and demonic inversion of the truth. Well said. I couldn't sleep at night. If a woman was on my bank account, she would spend every damn nickel. You only got 2 nickels, Timmy. What's she talking about? She going to take all of it? Hamster's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Hamster's playing his guitar right now. I bet he's doing that. And had a couple beers. Nope, beer doesn't start till 12. Good to see you, Hamster. I think this is the first time you've been on my stream. If she wants you, she will make it easy and she will show it. Look, 98% of women are not recommended. It's as simple as that. Good to see Megatron. And the 1 to 2% are still women. And they're still, you must not get married, not cohabitate, not have kids, have your own resources. They're still women. Men's brains and women's brains are different. One mighty and strong. Good to see you. But that is the reality. Women, look, we're literally aliens to one another. They don't understand us. We don't understand them. Well, we can understand female nature and we can understand our own nature. And hopefully we understand now what the courts and the family system, lays out for men, which is men are the perpetrators and the aggressors. The husband and wife titles are used to control us. We do not own each other like property. It's a great comment, brother. I would agree with that statement. Why known as Brown? Primus for 300 Trebek. Thanks for putting up Hamster's channel. He's got some good stuff. He's got a radio voice. Be thankful if she takes away your money, but if she takes away your house, away your kids, everything that's effing hard, money comes and goes, but your house and your kids. Absolutely. There's Gong John's channel. Appreciate you putting that up there. I am on the mend, much better than a week ago. Yeah, dude, it was when you told me you were in the hospital. Godspeed for you. You're going to get all better. All better. Timmy says he's a broke. He only got 2 pennies to rub together, Timmy. What are you talking about? He shaves his head because it saves him money. Someone said to me one time when I started shaving my head at 31 years ago. And before it was like hugely popular. I was probably the first one on my campus that did it at school. They're always about indoctrination and manipulation. And someone said, why do you shave your head? Are you going bald? And I go, well, I can't go bald if I shave the hair, because if there's no hair to fall out, then I win. They didn't understand that concept. I said, I never went bald. I just didn't allow hair to fall out. If you need rehabilitation, get your passport. The meetup location would be Pizza Hut, Ticuatepe, Nicaragua. I was looking at Managua flights yesterday. And to get to Managua, Nicaragua, there's no direct flights from where I'm at. So I guess there's a direct flight out of Houston, but I have to get to Houston. But I'm still thinking about maybe next month heading out that way. She is never happy, even with the replacement. Modern women hate freedom. They love nagging and fights all the time. Well, they love the attention. Remember, women love both negative and positive attention. At the end of the day, it goes in their attention bucket. I personally believe that especially my wife, when she would argue with me, she just wanted me to respond to her. Regardless of how bad the conversation was, she just wanted the response and the attention. Go bald, don't let anyone stop you. There you go. My girlfriend, bro, hides his money with the bank accounts. His ex wanted to take everything. She's a good sister. Now he's secretly building a house for himself. Guard your wallets, guys. Rad, how do you put together your 98% women when it comes to current divorce rates? I just look at what's out there, and 9.8 out of 10 women they're all the same. I think Father Saunders splits it at 95%. Our brains aren't just different. One would say they don't have brains, just feelings, hormones, emotions, and yet we've permitted them to run our society in the ground. Find your scrotums, boys. Women definitely are more emotionally based than men. Men are more logical, but there's a lot of beta male simps out there that are emotional as well. Women are being turned off by the nice guy because they're seeing their own feminine qualities in him. Whereas men are being turned off by the woman because we're seeing masculine qualities in them. Modern women are married to their iPhone. They're married to the attention. I'll tell the biatch want to argue, get a full-time job. There you go. If you want to argue, go be a lawyer. How about that? That would put their desire to argue in a way to make money. In the beginning, you get her best. In the marriage, you get her worst. That is 100% true, Europe. An RFID wallet. I do need to get a Faraday wallet. Well said, Mega. Thanks for the Evil Knievel thumbnail of healing and those that chimed in. It really helped me heal. We're all supporting each other, Mysterio. We should do a live stream soon with our Scandinavian brother. Down the road, Transformers will transplant on elephant's peenie. Well, now a lot of these transformers are telling people not to do the surgeries. It's literally people are dying to get their wiener sliced off and then made into a taco. They're dying. What kind of world we live in? They know the difference between simps and alpha. They use simps to boost their low self-esteem. Absolutely, Europe. Jeff Bezos takes his girlfriend always shopping. Well, she's only with him for one reason. Houston or Miami, some extra stops through Mexico City or Panama or Costa Rica. I've tried them all. There is a flight down to Liberia. How far away is Liberia from where you're talking about? That's northern Costa Rica. Or there's actually a flight to San Juan del Sur, but I don't really want to spend time in that area. It's too gringo. Maybe for one day. Many men are agreeing that women shouldn't have rights. Well, unfortunately, that would go back pre-1911, and we're never getting there. They're more emotional than women sometimes, and it's dangerous. Absolutely. WHO is in the house, and I'm craving a taco right now. So unhealthy to F with your body and hormones. I've seen some old-ass transformers who think they're women. Oh, and they look horrible. They don't even look. You can just tell. Come on. She is not modern. She is trash. Well said. We still have guys trying to impress their women on a daily. Oh, it's everywhere. Just go out and watch people at how, yeah, just watch them. A woman is impressed when you do not impress her. How about that? The system is trying to feminize men as fast as they can, and they wonder why they can't find a man who they are attracted to. Exactly. Rich men become miserable because people only use them for money. Mm-hmm. Repeal the 19th they voted for. That's happening to our country. I think, really, if you really want to think about it, I think we should go back to when landowners were the only ones who could vote because they owned land. I think that's a great rule. Females only show interest if you are born attractive as a male, but after her initial interest fades, she will always search for the better meal ticket. Same story, good looking or not, well said. They get bored. They're all on their iPhone, and a lot of them are trash. Well said. Most men are delusional because they want to live in the past. They want to get married because their parents and grandparents were married for decades. They yearn for a time they never lived in. Well said, Marvel. And they have that curiosity. And if they get divorced once, they're still curious. They're all about Nawalt. Nawalt for 300, Trebek. I just saw a girl run from a bee at the gas pump. I told her, tell it you have a boyfriend. And she stared at me. Kamala is giving mouth hugs for a vote. Back alley politics. Well said. Kamala. Henry Ford. Henry Ford. He didn't. You know who invented the car? It was Carl Benz. Mercedes-Benz invented the car. Henry Ford invented the assembly line. I recommended joining sports club. There are many great sport communities. Try team sport like ice hockey or basketball. Attaboy. I don't agree with you, brother. Rich people buy their happiness with money, friends, prostitutes, cars, and they know it. End all universal suffrage, no skin in the game, shut your mouth, attaboy. Regardless of how one feels about the 19th, the repeal ain't happening. It's pointless to talk about a political non-starter. Yeah, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. And, taking their voting rights, that's not going to happen either. The only way is the men just stop, playing the game, really. Money is fake. It sure is. Once you study money, read history of economics, real money is created out of thin air, literally. Go read how fractional banking works. You'll be it costs you $100,000 to open a bank, and you get $1 million from the feds, and then you can loan on $900,000 out of thin air. Yep. Well said, Dan. She's good at laying on her back. She would be a wonderful politician if all she did was laying on her back. Contact sports are good. That's one of the reasons I like a mountain bike and skateboard is there is contact. It's you can get gnarly on both of them, but you don't have to worry about you don't need another team player. But I do like basketball. I do like a lot of the aggressive sports. Look at who runs the Fed Reserve. Yep. It's not FedEx. Most females use males for something. Males often believe their mother or sister or aunt is different or not like other females. Well said. Mysterio, I guess that best situation for a man is to live his life on his terms. Women come and go unless you vet a woman for about 4 years, even then. Absolutely. Another thing, men get bored of women too. They just don't want to lose the investment over several years. I'd like to learn some animal style kung fu like wolf style. There you go. David Carradine for 300, Trebek. She spreads her legs and she will get 100% of your resources. What a shame. The laws must change for men. We're not going to see much laws changing. The only way out of it is to not play the game. Once you're in a one-on-one combat situation with a man who could take your soul away, then money won't help you. Well said. Some of the survival guys that teach street fighting say the best fight to be in is no fight. Can a man really view a woman with SAG's interest from 20 to the game, no matter how it is? It's a great question. No need to repeal or revolt. All men need to do is withdraw, stop working for the system. Well said. Get out of it. Problem for Kamala is there is no one left to mouth hug her. Oh, she is so annoying. I learned some fun stalls, pop off curbs lately on the side. Attaboy. Yourself a backside 50-50. I was trying to hang out with my married friend, and all my conversations included his wife's input and comments. Oh, yeah. I got a friend like that. Could you please play a video? I don't know how to do that on these. I got to learn StreamYard, brother. Once I learn it, I will. I got idiots at my place right now. Now, who's and shiz. There you go. Get idiots out of your house. Once you understand that you're probably a product of your mother's hypergamy and your mom's attachment to your father for his resources, then you can truly see a Walt. I wanted to kick a dude's ass on Facebook. Political shit. Yeah, that doesn't ever work. Just ignore him. Losing investment for a man involved with women is the man if the man does not want financially pinching in his present or future. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. All right, send me an email. We'll look at that. Most family parties are so boring. I never go to them. Oh, I hated in-law parties too. Oh, she doesn't like you. She likes how you make her feel when she is seeing you. That's the truth. Christian Henny, want to not complain and not go no foul. Travel the world and get a nice. The traveling is wonderful. I like to travel, but as Patriot says, it's not very minimalistically because you're dealing with idiots. Many people are idiots in denial. Idiots in denial for 300 Trebek. Rad, what powerlifters can do is not superhuman. We can do if we were trained. The only thing is that I cannot be using the juice. Power, yeah, those guys. Another guy just died. 36-year-old guy from Turkey or something. Roids. All to impress others. Patriot says you travel, good for you. Got it out of your system. Well, in my 20s, I was raising kids. In my 30s too, in my early 40s. Yeah, it's all a big flexing fest, isn't it, Mysterio or Europe? Mysterio, do you think love is basic chemicals? No human emotions can. I think the romantic love that people feel are just chemicals. I think you can love somebody, like a genuine, like really, like you love the person, but falling in love is bullshit. I don't believe in that. I did at one point, but I don't believe in it anymore. I believe there's just chemicals. Utility or liability, says Ghost. That's a great phrase there. Are they a utility or a liability? I would say both. I don't know how married men can deal with whimsical females. That's why they retreat to their man cave. Arvero, good to see you. Thanks for the thumbs up, brother. It's better to improve than to go and get diabetes, get the beatus from the sugar infesting parties. Men having sex in the other room while you're there is like eating in front of you while you're starving. I was born because my mother looked and found the best utility option. We would like to believe our mom loves our father, but remove dad's sacrifice and toil for mom and fun. But yes, I agree with that statement. I think there's a lot of parentals. I mean, that's exactly what my wife was like. My ex-wife. My parents get married because my mom got pregnant. She made it clear to us kids we were a ball and chain that trapped her. Women are all the same. Always someone else's fault. Damn, brother. I remember my aunt told my niece, I wish you were never born. You've ruined my life. And Jiminy Christmas. They're all tweaked now. Love doesn't exist for her. If you got no looks, no money, and no apartment, you are trash in her eyes. No, they seek resources. Set up a national no work men's day. Did they try that, Phil? Trash attracts trash. Well said. Loudest chick you are banging? This one girl kept saying, oh, she was so loud. She grunted. Most parents make horrible diabetes poison diets to their kids. Oh, so do the school systems. Absolutely. They feed them pure processed carbs, Patriot. Big World. Dr. Phil says marriage is a sacred covenant. Well, it used to be. Can 50 plus man women have the same type of cocktail with each other as their 20-year-old kid? I think a 50-year-old, they have a short fuse now. Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey are major simps. Same as Steve Harvey. Gee, man, what a simp. I can't stand looking at their tattooed low IQs. If she has tattoos, smokes, or drinks, then leave. Yep. If she hates your dad, leave. Your ex said the same thing to your son. That's unfortunate. Sammy, you can take the rest of the year off in Nicaragua. Remove male utility from any relationship in our age and ask yourself, does she actually care about me or does she care about what I do for her? You're not mistaken. Everything's a transaction. Relationships are just transactional. Read that, Ghost. Well said. Most of the TV shows are about cucks. Yes. I did watch a good movie last night, Rebel Ridge on Netflix. I really liked it. Brother Rad, be thankful that your ex left you. I'm thankful too. I am, dude. No nagging. Even Showtime runner like Dexter has become a cock show. Sure. Didn't he marry a single mom? Dexter? Big World, are you in a city or a town? I'm in Farmington. It's got, I think there's 40,000 people. So not a big city. Tattoo is a sign she is unhappy. Well said. And that ink is causing mental issues. It's getting in the bloodstream. Apparently, ink causes some weird shit. I said to him, please be abusive and controlling to me. Attaboy. Let's see. I'm going to read a couple more, then I'm going to be off mountain biking. Guys, last night I bought a bottle of tequila. Goes down smooth. Has plenty of aspartame. Well, keep yourself out of trouble if you got tequila. Beavis and Butthead are not paying child support. They're just smashing Tanqueray. Tammy and Tanqueray. No Nag November is coming. Well said, bookshelf. What's the scoop on the house sale? Still for sale, Mysterio. Trying to be patient. Big World, how is Cedar City? Oh, it's not bad. It's 45 minutes from St. George. It's a lot of old folks live there. It's got some great hiking and mountain biking. Esther Villar, love means he's a great workhorse. Well said. Great book too. The Manipulated Man. The tattoos, the vagina is a sign she's not happy. A woman's magazine actually did an article that women between the ages of 18 to 85 are miserable. Relationships are transactional, but the transaction is not equitable for males. We definitely sacrifice, brother. They got a lot of tattoos, Dan Patrick, and I don't think a lot of them are happy. They're looking for, they're literally overdosed on dopamine. She wants your resources is another saying for she is a prosti. All relationships are transactional. What attracts women at the beginning? The dark triad becomes the excuse for them leaving. Oh yeah, the dark triad for 300. And they blame the dudes. Just like the Duluth model. The old links for iron oxide red, copper oxide green. Seems like it's soy-based now. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Does soy last longer? Seemed like that would go away. No tats, fats, and brats. Rad, do you do Halloween parties? No. That drives me nuts. Big World. Live stream with Rich Cooper. I'm too small for him. I'm a couple years older than him. Cuffing season is here. Get ready for the Hey Stranger. Yep, cuffing season starts in October. We will do our annual cuffing stream. Thanks, SC, for being here. Guys, this has been a great chat. Remember, the Duluth model pits you against her, and she is always going to play the V card. You will always be the perpetrator, and you will be very, very looked down upon in all situations. They really don't know what they want, Dan Patrick. You're absolutely right. Have a good day, Trog. I'm going to read 2 more and then I'm out. And I want you guys doing stuff too. I want to marry a beta male provider who allows me to be a 304 on OnlyFans and he gives me extra money and he's always cooking for me. There's a lot of guys like that. I'm dressing up as a Cobra commander with a kielbasa. Let's see. Rich Cooper is the real deal. Who's this guy right here? Jeff Spicoli. Still butthurt over the ex as she swallows her new man sees. Oh, sorry you feel that way, brother. Rich Cooper is the real deal. He's got some good things. Be well and safe. Good for you. Appreciate you being here. Cuffing season is where it's at. We'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence, masculinity, men first. Peace.